2 all-time in scoring in the history of the NBA.
It's an honor for myself, my family, my friends, my hometown, and anybody that's been a part of this journey.
All right, here we go now. We'll do a little history lesson, and we'll give you a little list as far as this is usually Stephen A's list. We learned a couple weeks ago that the quarterback's a disaster. So instead, we have jumped in. We did the Hall of Fame, the top 5 teams last week in the NBA history. Steve hadn't seen any of them, but we did them anyway. All right, here's the list now. Obviously, LeBron is 2. Now, here's my top 5. It'll surprise you that this is based on my own eyes. Number 5, right here, is Pistol Pete Maravich. If you're going to laugh, averaged 44 a game in college, his senior year at LSU, and no three-point shooting in those days. They didn't count him in the NBA. Go look at those statistics from New Orleans. Go look at those statistics from the Atlanta Hawks. This guy averaged 31, 32 a game, shot 44, 45% from the field, scored 63 on Clyde one night against the Knicks. Frasier's told me on the air, Chris, there wasn't a person, God, couldn't have stopped Pistol that night. This is one of the all-time great ball handlers in the history of the league, who is a tremendous long-range shooter with no three-point shot. He would have averaged 50 a game in the backcourt if there was a three-point shot in his heyday in the 70s. He's number 5. It's not even debatable. He's number 5. Number 4, this is easy enough at number 4 because the next 4 is Kobe. You have to put Kobe, 81 points, of course, against Toronto. This is an unbelievable assassin. This is a guy who loved scoring points. This is listen, nobody's going to argue with this. Kobe's the 4th greatest scorer in the history of the NBA. I don't care what the statistics say. I'm not interested. You get your basket, go to the free throw line, go to the hole, do everything great. He's number 4. Stevie, I think, would agree with that. Number 3. Now, you could switch this any way you want, the top 3. I'm going to put Wilt at 3. I understand he averaged 50 a game. I understand he scored 100 points against the Knicks in Hershey, PA in 1962. I know all about Wilt. I know all about his statistics, his passing, his rebounding, his dipsy-do. The only thing you don't like about Wilt, he can't make a free throw. That's the only thing I don't like about Wilt. Only 1 or 2 championships. That bothers me, too. This is no crime putting him number 3. People are going to say, Chris, how can you put him number 3? Average 50 points a game in a season. Frank McGuire, 62. I get it. I'll put him number 3. I'm putting Kareem number 2. He had an unstoppable, unblockable shot. That hook, sky hook, was unstoppable. He get it off anytime he wanted to get it off. And if you think I'm crazy, here's what I want you to do tonight. Go back and look at the 74 NBA final against Boston and go take a peek at Game 6 against the Celtics in overtime when he was a young player. Oscar was old. Chaney and JoJo White ran Oscar out of the league. Go watch Kareem's performance in that game. Go watch it. He's number 2, and he was a great free throw shooter. Much better than people think. Remember those 2 free throws he made against Detroit, which won Game 7 in the NBA Final, the last championship he won.
Oh, will you
2.
get to number 1?
Let me finish!
Get to number 1. Get to number 1. Oh, my God. Go ahead.
Who's 1? Put him up there. You got it, baby. Michael James. He is number 1. No debate. Nobody's going to argue. This is the greatest offensive machine in the history of the NBA. Score anytime he wanted to. 63 at the Boston Garden against Parrish, McHale, Walton, Bird, DJ, and Ainge. Now, I should have put Elgin Baylor on here. I had no place to put him. I considered that. Laugh all you want. I considered Bob Pettit. I can't put Bob Pettit on here. LeBron, we all know where LeBron is historically as an all-around player, and you can talk about Karl Malone until your cows come home. You can have him. I don't want him. I'm putting Jordan 1, Kareem 2, Wilt, Kobe, and you're going to laugh. Look it up. Right here, baby. Pistol at number 5. There's your list. Go ahead. Let me hear. Iverson's not on the list, by the way.
You started off your list.
Yeah.
Horrible. Get Pete Maravich the hell off of there, okay? 1970 to 1980. I don't care. Just stop it. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. It's good. Listen. Here's my whole point. First of all, I have no problem with, well, of course, I agree with Michael Jordan being number 1. All right, Kareem and Wilt, you got to put them up there. Kareem's the all-time leading scorer. Wilt Chamberlain was unstoppable. So those 3 I'll give you. Kobe's actually debatable, but I'm not going to fight with him in the top 5 because I believe in the Black Mamba. I just want to say this to you, doggy. So Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God has ever created. He's a 90% career shooter from the free throw line, and he's a career 25-point-per-game scorer. And you talked about Pete Maravich being up there and what he would have been if there were a three-point shot.
He would have
but we've
averaged
seen
50
what
a
Steph
game.
Curry is with his three-point shot. Okay, excuse me, with his three-point shot, okay? So that's number one. We just going to leave LeBron, who's a career 27-point-per-game scorer, out of this. Just going to leave LeBron off there. Just going to leave him. That's what we're going to do, doggy. That's what we're going to do. And oh, by the way, last but not least.
People. You're making it sound like I gotta, Anthony Mason's not on the list. Look at these people here.
Exactly. Listen, I'm
Come
looking
on.
at them. That's why I said it's for the top 4. Listen. Number 1 is not debatable. 2, 3, and 4 are legitimate. I'm just simply asking a question. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant may be the second great, at the end of his career, he may be the second greatest scorer we have ever seen in the history of basketball. I'm talking about the eye test. I'm not talking about numbers. What he can do, he's a career 27-point-per-game scorer, like LeBron. He is a marksman extraordinaire. He is 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan. He's got a mid-range game. He's got a three-point game. He's got an open court game. He's got a handle. He can hit free throws. What can't Kevin Durant do offensively? How do you sit up there and put a Pete Maravich above him? I would tell you as a scorer, I'd actually put him ahead of Kobe.
Not bad on Durant. I love him too. But we got a little homework assignment for you. 56 Sullivan with Elvis. When you go back to your suite, you got an hour or two before the NBA countdown. And then I want you to go back and I want you to take any game out you want. 73, 75, the New Orleans, Atlanta, any game you want. But find the game against Clyde and that great Knick team. And find the game that Pistol had 63. And when you're doing that,
you're talking about a moment.
When you're doing that, average 31 a game. Now, come on, stop. When you're doing that, I want you to count how many three-point shots
Iverson averaged over 34 times. You discounted that? He averaged over 31 in 10. Allen Iverson averaged over 34 times, and you dismissed it.
Can we lay low with Iverson? You like him. We have figured that out. Can we take it easy?
All right, gentlemen.
And that's my little brother right there. You done lost your mind.
Breaking news coming up next in the NFL regarding a major superstar. We will give you that news and all the reaction in just a moment. First take. I'll be right back. You did a good job.
Something wrong with Doggy.
Good job.
Something wrong with Doggy. Something wrong.